This is Miami All Access.
Faced these guys about a month ago. Anything that you learned in that series that is going to carry over that you can apply to this weekend's matchup?
Well, I think everything that we thought came true. They're a pretty good team and lots of weapons. Unbelievable group of defensemen. Talented group of forwards. Very deep. Obviously, they won the NCHC last year, and so they're as good a team as anybody that we've played all year. So, recipe's the same. You got to prepare well, and preparing well gives you a chance to be in the game, and then you got to execute and get some bounces.
These guys are right behind you in the standings. Standings are
so is everybody else.
Awfully close. Yeah, everybody's close. So it's really anybody's championship at this point to take. Does that create any added pressure for the team, and how do you combat that?
No, I think it's been a while now since we've had this one game mentality, and just focusing on one game and not allowing yourself to get ahead of yourself. You can't do that in our league. Our league's too tough. No matter who you're playing, you got to play your best every night. And so our attention to detail and focus on one game at a time has been true for quite some time now. And we're just going to play hard, try to play tough, try to play smart, and we'll see where it takes us at the end of the season. But certainly we have to make sure that we're focused one game at a time.
Conditioning-wise, going back up to elevation, you guys did it a couple weeks ago. How much do you figure that'll help as far as just having your lungs with you?
Yeah, it's nothing that we're not used to, so not something we talk about.
Special teams-wise, last time they came here, you were able to shut them down a little bit. I know that's a very dangerous power play. I don't think they scored any goals in that. How crucial is our special teams down this stretch of the season with so little separating all these teams?
Well, I think we all know the answer to that. You've got to be good on special teams. Your power play has to execute. Your penalty kill has to do the job. It has to gain you momentum in the game, and you necessarily don't have to score on the power play, but you have to gain some kind of momentum. And like you said, Denver's power play is lights out. They've got tremendous skill, and LaLeggia is as good a quarterback as there is in the country, and he might be the best player in the country. So you've got to stay disciplined, stay out of the box, and make sure that you're doing everything you can to disrupt their schemes and their passing lanes.
I know last weekend seemed very much a playoff atmosphere against Minnesota Duluth. Is there even any room for that kind of intensity to even ratchet up beyond what that was last week?
Well, that's what you're going to see the rest of the way. So I think our league has proven that every weekend is playoff-like from the beginning of the year. So I would suspect that we're going to see playoff hockey this week. I know we're going to see playoff hockey this week. This is a team that's well coached. Again, like I said earlier, won our league last year at the Target Center. Most of their team's back, and they know how to play the game, and it'll be a fun series, and I think both teams will play their best, and we'll see what happens.
They'll be missing a player up front in La Raza on Friday night. Does that play into their – will they kind of rally around missing him? Does that ratchet it up at all for them, or is there, as Chad said, any room for that?
I don't know. I mean, that's a question you'll have to ask them, but he's certainly a really good hockey player and has been having a dynamite year, and he'll be back on Saturday, I'm sure. But the teams around the country, you always go through injuries or guys missing games and things like that. For us, our focus is just to make sure we play our best hockey and not worry about their lineup. We know how good it's going to be. That's not a surprise to anybody. And just because they're missing one guy, they're deep enough and good enough that they can play the game at a high level.
And your team, moving forward from last weekend, thrilling comeback on Saturday night, to rally back from 2 goals down and get that overtime win. Does that give a little more confidence to your guys?
Well, certainly. I think when you're winning games, you're always gaining confidence. I thought we played really well on Saturday. I thought we played with intensity and determination. I thought Friday, for the most part, we played well. You know, Saturday, it took us a long time to solve their goaltender. He played great, and but that's kind of the playoff feel that you're going to see, and the kind of games that we're going to be in. You're going to be down, you're going to be up, you're going to be tied, you're going to have to, you know, fight back, you're going to have to play ahead. All the things that you can think of, all the scenarios you can think of, are going to probably present themselves at some point in the next few weeks. So you have to feel comfortable in those situations. You've got to continue to play the game and not worry about what's happened in the past. I think we've tried to teach that in our culture over the years. I think the guys have done a decent job of it this year of making sure they focus on the next shift, and that's what we're going to continue to you know, to preach and to try to feel good about, so that when the time comes and there's, you know, situations where you're one game elimination, if you will, those are the things that that come into play. And you know, right now we've got a great task in front of us in playing what I think is a top 5 team in the country in Denver, and we're going to have to play our best.